This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where every week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we discuss what's going on in our business. Plus, we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be talking to Allyson Wonderland of Successful.com. Adult Site Broker is proud to announce ASB Cash, the first affiliate program for an adult website brokerage. With ASB Cash, you'll have the chance to earn as much as 20% of our broker commission, referring sellers and buyers to us at Adult Site Broker. Check our website at asbcash.com for more details. First of all today, let's cover some of the news going on in our industry. Pornhub has released two statements about the announcement by Visa and MasterCard that their cards would no longer be accepted on the platform, following an editorial by Nicholas Kristof of the New York Times, which makes a number of allegations against the company. Regarding Visa and MasterCard, Pornhub's statement said, "These actions are exceptionally disappointing as they come just 2 days after Pornhub instituted the most far-reaching safeguards in user-generated platform history. Unverified users are now banned from uploading content, a policy no other platform has put in place, including Facebook, which reported 84 million instances of child sexual abuse material over the last 3 years. In comparison, the Internet Watch Foundation reported only 118 incidents on Pornhub. This news is crushing for the hundreds of thousands of models who rely on our platform for their livelihoods. Regarding the allegations by Kristof, published by the New York Times, Pornhub's statement follows, "Eliminating illegal content and ridding the internet of child sexual abuse material is one of the most crucial issues facing online platforms today, and it requires the unwavering commitment and collective action of all parties. Due to the nature of our industry, people's preconceived notions of Pornhub's values and processes often differ from reality. But it's counterproductive to ignore the facts regarding a subject as serious as child sexual abuse. Any assertion that we allow this content is irresponsible and flagrantly untrue. We have zero tolerance for child sexual abuse. Pornhub is unequivocally committed to combating child sexual abuse and has instituted an industry-leading trust and safety policy to identify and eradicate illegal material from our community. Pornhub has actively worked to employ extensive measures to protect the platform from such content. These measures include a vast team of human moderators dedicated to manually reviewing every single upload, a thorough system for flagging, reviewing, and removing illegal material, robust parental controls, and a variety of automated detection technologies. In a related story, Monday, Pornhub announced the removal of all content from its platform that was not uploaded by content partners or members of its model program, a purge that amounts to millions of clips. This latest move follows Pornhub's release last week of new guidelines for content uploads, including expanded moderation, and the announcement by Visa and MasterCard that the cards would no longer be accepted on the platform. Pineapple Support will be hosting its annual Pineapple Summit tomorrow through Thursday, starting both days at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, focusing on topics surrounding trauma, abuse, stalking, and anxiety. The Mental Health Summit will feature live webinars and panels with therapists and industry experts and will be broadcast on Pornhub Live. It is free for anyone who wants to attend. The 2020 Summit, sponsored by Pornhub and Model Hub, will coincide with the International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers this Thursday, December 17th. The speakers at the event will include performers, industry executives, therapists, and legal experts. This year's Pineapple Summit is in memory of Dr. Amy Harwick, a pineapple support therapist who lost her life tragically earlier this year. Leah Tannett, Founder and president of Pineapple Support said, "The Pineapple Summit will have some of the top therapists and experts from around the globe discussing different aspects of mental and physical health, therapy, and coping skills. They will be providing insight and advice for adult industry performers, discussing facts and promoting positivity and acceptance. The Pineapple Summit is 100% free and 100% online. This might be the most important summit you attend." The Free Speech Coalition has announced its newly elected and re-elected members of its board of directors of 2021. They are First Amendment attorney Reed Lee, XBiz founder and publisher Alec Helmy, Chick Media CEO Kelly Holland, Treasure Island Media president Matt Mason, and AVN publisher Tony Rios, Kink.com CEO Allyson Bowden, Adult Time CCO Bree Mills. They will join board chair and attorney Jeffrey Douglas, Mark Schechter of ATMLA, John Blitt of Mile High Media, Scott Watkins of Doc Johnson, Kathy Beardsley of SegPay, and Lance Hart of PervOut. Now let's feature our property of the week that's for sale at Adult Site Broker. We're offering a sex toy review site dedicated to exploring sexuality and sharing and reviewing the author's favorite sex toys. The thing that really stands out is the extremely high-quality content used throughout the site. Most sites, especially review sites, use junk content that is very obviously written just to rank for terms in Google. This site is written in the first person and is a joy to read. The authors take the reader on a journey, showing them which toys they find the most enjoyable and explaining how to best use them. The rankings in Google are high because Google has rewarded this site due to the quality of the content. It's also a nicely diversified site in terms of revenue. It's from a good mix of affiliate offers, so the business doesn't hinge on only one main program. The site is also very diversified in terms of traffic to individual pages. The most trafficked page on the site only makes up 14% of the traffic, so it's not dependent on just one page ranking well. All content is exclusive. Nothing has been taken from elsewhere. Pretty much all of the traffic comes from organic Google results. No ad or traffic buying has ever taken place. This is an outstanding opportunity for the new owner if they want to further boost the traffic. This outstanding sex toy review site is available for only $225,000. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk is Allyson Wonderland of Successful.com. Now I got to spell that. It's SUCCE full FUL.com. Allyson, thanks for being with us today on Adult Site Broker Talk.
Thank you for having me. You have such a great announcer voice. It's perfect for radio. I love it.
Thank you. It is trained. I did go to broadcasting school for it.
Okay, this would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, former sportscaster. Could have been a great baseball announcer. Just didn't get the opportunity. Oh well. Anyway, let me give the lowdown on Allyson. She's been a stripper and a webcam model for 12 years. She's always enjoyed sharing her knowledge with others about the industry. That's where you and I agree. She started Successful as a content-based site to answer questions received on a daily basis and changed direction when she realized how she could truly help. By offering adult entertainers better solutions to insurance options, she's created a platform designed for a chance to feel equal, secure, and educated. As an amateur clip maker, stripper, webcam model, Snapchat premium model, or any other adult entertainer out there, there's certainly a need for insurance. There simply are not enough resources or companies who view sex workers as equal. This is where Successful comes in. They strive to provide accessibility and acceptability when it comes to various types of insurance for adult entertainers, bringing you peace of mind and knowing they've created a safe space for your individual coverage needs, no matter what it is your hustle is. I love that. Now, Allyson wrote that part. Now, it doesn't sound like something I'd say. So, how did you come up with Successful as a company?
I actually started by realizing that I was getting hit up a lot by friends who are really interested in, just the simple things of what are you charging and how do you do this? And I got a lot of messages in my inbox a lot. So it first
Hmm.
started out as kind of like a how-to website, and then I realized, there's a lot of those.
Hmm.
And they're all great and they all offer great insight. And I wanted to try to figure out something to be a little bit more different.
Hmm.
And I flash back to my days of being a dancer when,
Hmm.
in the back rooms, there's a bunch of like manager notes and stuff in the dressing rooms. And I just remember them always being really negative and kind of yelling at us. And they
Yeah.
never really said anything like, hey, if you need health insurance or if you need, someone to talk to or a crisis hotline, or it was never anything helpful like that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it came into place. I looked to see if anyone was doing it. No one was doing it. So I was
Hmm.
like, all right, let's start the process.
And did you have to like get any licenses or anything like that?
So I'm pretty lucky. I happened to get to know the right person in order to get me in the door to talk to who I needed to talk to. So
Hmm.
we actually work with an already established company. I didn't have to do anything. Our
Hmm.
health exchange works the same as any other insurance website out there. You submit your
Hmm.
form, or you can just call and speak directly to an agent.
Hmm.
So I got lucky that I met the right person.
Cool. Yeah, I think that when you're talking about owners and managers of clubs, they really more than anything else objectify the women.
Yeah, they don't. None of the, like I said, none of the signs were ever anything about positivity. It was always like, don't put your heels on the couches. You're going to put holes in them, and
Hmm.
don't give customers your phone number. It was just a bunch of like, it seemed like your father was scolding you the entire time.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a very positive environment. And I traveled a lot, and I
Hmm.
noticed that this was something that was in every single dressing room. It was the same
I'm
story over
sure.
and over again.
Yeah, they're looking out for themselves, certainly, and covering their own butt, certainly not yours. Um, do you feel like your background in adult entertainment hurts or helps you in this venture?
I feel like it helped me a huge, huge lot. This is a very hard industry. No
Yes.
one really, I think we're all programmed and used to getting a job, and then someone sits there and like holds your hand through it and shows you what to do until you're ready. And no one really does this here. It's a very much, I'm going to throw you into the deep end kind of an industry. And
Hmm.
a lot of the times I look back and I'm very thankful that I started really young, but I'm happy that I did because it taught me everything I needed to know to be able to be ready now for this venture.
Now, when you used to cam, what were some of your favorite moments?
Oh gosh, a
Tell
lot.
me some. Tell me some wild stories.
Oh, a lot.
There must be some pretty freaky stuff.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's definitely, when you're new and you don't know how to turn off like the private messaging feature while you're online and everyone just bombards you with messages. Yeah, there's always some pretty wild requests. Um, I think one of the wildest ones that I ever got was somebody wanted to turn on his webcam and be in his daughter's room while she was sleeping
Oh,
and
jeez.
wanted to see if I was okay with that. And I was like, I am definitely not okay with that. I'm going to block you.
Yeah, that's just
There's
that's sick.
definitely some
That's sick and
weirdos.
twisted. No matter how old the daughter is.
Yeah, and you don't want to try it, right? Like you don't want to be curious and see if like they're actually going to go that far because then it's terrifying if they're not just being a troll. So
Yeah.
that was something I had to learn too, was like to not just don't t- just don't look at them. Don't look at the DMs.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that one was pretty intense. I've had more pretty crazy things honestly happen to me as a stripper though,
Hmm. Okay.
which is kind
Well,
of
stay.
weird because that means that people are very ballsy in person.
Yeah, yeah. I would think it would be the other way around with the keyboard warriors.
I think so.
Are there any other crazy stories from the cam side?
To me, what would be crazy, I'm sure maybe not, be too crazy to other people, but I've definitely somehow got the I will pay you to take a shit out in public, or I'm sorry if we can't curse. Take a
No,
poop
well,
out in public.
you can curse on this show. Fuck, shit, son of a bitch, motherfucker. This is an adult show. Right? There are no
I
rules,
was
so
making sure.
you certainly can curse. So they wanted you to poop in public.
Yeah,
Uh,
and they were willing to pay whatever it took to get me to do that. And it just makes you wonder, like, where does it start from? What are you doing to like get this are you saving your money to like, are you saving your paychecks to get to this point? And then like when you have what you feel is enough, you approach somebody. I don't know. Very crazy. But yeah, like I said, I've had the same experience in the clubs as well. So I guess I just feel like, if you're freaky, you're freaky, and you're gonna find someone to talk to about it, no matter what.
I'm sure they found somebody to do that. Well, what were some of the crazier strip club stories?
um, I reference this one a lot because I this is just so off the wall to me. But we definitely once had some guy come in with spaghetti squash. Yeah, like carrying it like a baby. Any picture that you have right now in your head is correct. He came in to the club carrying the spaghetti squash in the crook of his arm like a baby.
Oh no!
And definitely bought a dance for that squash. And I was the unlucky stripper that had to give that squash.
Oh, he
to
bought a
someone.
dance for the squash.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of a situation
I was thinking maybe he wanted you to. Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what we were going with. So it was a slow night. We all decided to pull straws and see who had to be like the unlucky one to go see what this was going on, and it happened to
You
be
got
me.
lucky.
I got the straw, so I got to go see what he wanted, and he wanted to dance for his squash, so I gave a squash a lap dance.
I see.
That was a
What
career
else?
highlight for me.
What are some What are some other things that happened? And now you got me wondering.
I danced in Alaska for a while. Those people get a whole different kind of drunk. Their
Oh
alcohol over
yeah,
there is a different kind of proof, I guess, than I'm used to. Like they have very high alcohol content out there,
really?
and they don't really, they don't really have too much of a cap on what you drink. So it was a very interesting experience to be in Alaska with all these different people coming in and out. You have people from the army, you have people doing oil, you have fishermen, you have all these different people, but they all come to the one titty bar in Alaska, and they
Oh,
all
jeez.
get so drunk, and it was just nonstop debauchery every night. I don't know how
So
I lived through
crazy stories every night.
every night. It was ridiculous. I've definitely never had as much fun as I did dancing in Alaska. So shout out to you, Alaska. You
I
kept it fun.
guess. So, what was it like transitioning from dancing to webcams?
Super easy. It made a lot of sense to me. It's basically online stripping. It's just a lot more involved. There's a lot more that you have to offer with webcam than you do as a dancer, because the moment you leave the building, your job's done. But as a cam girl, or as any webcam model knows, you're never done with your job. You're
Hmm.
making videos, you're making clips, you're selling Snapchat, you're doing that. You're always doing more than just webcam.
Yeah.
So that was a little hard for me to learn. Like, oh shit, gotta do more. Okay, no problem. But I mean, iPhones make it so easy now for anyone to be like the M Night Shyamalan of porn. So it really wasn't it wasn't
Mhm.
that hard to figure it out after a little bit, but surprisingly easy.
Now, how about the transition from that to what you do now? How has that been?
Also, oddly easy. I am someone who really likes to write, and I love to be helpful. I am an Aquarius, so if anyone is into that kind of shit, then they know that we are sadly the helpers of. And I love getting that, like, I don't know what to do, where do I go person, and just like turning their day around. So it wasn't too much of a shock. It's just more of a shock that like, oh, okay, like I can stay in my pajamas all day if I want to. There's not any point where I have to go put makeup on
Exactly.
and get ready. No one has to really look at me anymore. So I think I got really lazy with my appearance. But other than that, it was pretty seamless.
I think a lot of people have been working in their pajamas since early this year.
It's very relatable. It's I think a lot of people are doing the whole like, wearing the business shirt for whatever Zoom or Skype call that they have to do and then keeping it real with the sweatpants. And I'm okay
Well, I don't know
with that.
if
I
you're
feel like
aware
that's
of
how
this.
we
I don't know
should
if
be
you're
working.
aware of this, but TV news people do this all the time. They'll have business suits on the top and like shorts on the bottom.
That's so funny.
Oh no, it's been
That
this
would
has
be
been going
great
that's
to
been going
actually see.
that's been going on forever. Coming from broadcasting, I know that.
So it's not like a Ron Burgundy thing, like it's a real thing.
No, it's not just Ron. There's more true to the stuff that was in that movie than people would know. So so anytime you have something like that, I mean you're pretty young, so you probably don't remember the TV show WKRP in Cincinnati. Probably never saw it.
Oh no.
But that was about radio. God, and there were all kinds of bizarre characters in this, and there was somebody like everyone in that show. So,
That's
from my experience, so including myself. So, yeah, if you ever get a chance to see some episodes of it, it was a great show and very, very funny.
relatable content. All right.
Extremely to anyone who's ever been in radio for sure. Now was the name successful? Again, SUCCEXXXFUL. Was it inspired from anything in particular?
I kept I kept a journal when I was trying to name my company. And thought of a lot of keywords that I wanted to focus on. And for some reason, successful was the one word that I kept seeing over and over again. And then something just
Hmm.
clicked with me in my little adult industry brain. And I was like, well, why don't I just replace those S's with three X's? And then everyone will know that it's related to adult entertainment. And everyone's
Voila.
been okay with it, but Instagram.
Oh, oh, geez, really?
Instagram hates putting three. Yeah, Instagram will not let me have the handle successful. I have to put underscores between all the X's, and it's just such an eyesore. Thanks, Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook in general, pains in the ass.
I
Now, how did you put together this health insurance partnership? Give me the details.
Oddly enough, it was a man that I started dating. I completely unrelated was just tagging along to the dinners that he would have and listen on to calls sometimes. And I realized that there was one company that in his line of business he worked with that likes to insure 1099s. And I was like,
Hmm.
well, there is a sea of people that I have for you over here that absolutely nobody wants to talk to because we're all, taboo and hush hush and nobody thinks of us apparently as people. So I invite you to think of us as people. And it worked. They were all aboard.
Hmm.
They loved it. They loved what I had to say. It couldn't have gone any better, to be honest. Sometimes I still sit there and I'm like, how the hell did I do that? Like I'm still amazed that I was able to get a company that probably wouldn't normally look at sex workers as people to look at us as people. And then now I can only hope that shit, let's keep that momentum going. I hope other people try to get, different forms of services to look at
Mhm.
us as people. That would just be amazing. So I figured let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah, you mean like banks and credit card processing and Oh, that would be too much to ask. Now, no,
Just
who do
be
you feel?
too nice.
What's that?
I said it would just be too nice if we could just be looked at as normal human beings.
Yeah, really. Um, who do you feel can benefit from your health.succexxful.com? I'm going to spell it out again, website. And how is that different from successful? I'm not going to spell it out this time, .com.
So successful.com is it's my homepage. So that's where you can see all of my older content. I call that the OG archives where I was writing like the how-to stuff. So now what I keep on there is industry talk, any kind of resource that I find. Definitely will be adding you on there. So expect to see you there. And I like to break down different insurance, especially health insurance terms. So there's a little bit of education on that page as well. And then the health.successful.com is the actual health exchange site where you
Okay.
can see phone number to contact an agent. You can fill out the form. So that is the actual health exchange website.
Okay. What exactly is a health exchange?
I had a feeling this question was going to come up. A lot of people ask about that.
Mhm.
It is another word for a health insurance marketplace, and it's basically a comparison shopping area for health insurance. That's the easiest way to describe that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing more, nothing less, huh?
Nothing more. Health insurance is one of those things where, oh God, like anytime I see a TikTok about it or a funny video, and people are just talking about how America's health insurance just makes no sense. Like I can't disagree with it
Yeah.
because I'm over here laughing
Mm-hmm.
along with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they basically screwed it up internationally too. Trust me on that, because a lot of the other countries basically follow a lot of the norms that were set in the United States because, well, they're American. They must be right.
I wish they wouldn't. I wish they
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Well,
It's
they
terrible.
do. Well, they do.
It's
If
terrible.
you have private health insurance, it's overpriced and it has lots of limitations. They still have the pre-existing conditions thing
Oh
when you
yeah.
get insurance here.
Oh
I'm dealing with like UK companies and things like that, and they're, if you want private insurance, it's equally as screwed up as anything in the States.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's even crazier here too because, you have some states that participate in the ACA, you have some states
Hmm.
that don't. So, I mean, I can only imagine what it is like for somebody as an adult entertainer who is, probably like what, 25, 26, coming off their parents' insurance, and now they got to go
Hmm.
figure this out themselves. It's
Yeah.
exactly why I made this because I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't go get health insurance because I didn't know who to talk to or if I could tell them what I did. Or
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
shied away from it, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky nothing happened to me.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people go uninsured, and it's pretty tragic. I have a friend here who's a musician, and well, he's actually teaching school these days, and he developed cancer, and he was uninsured. So
Oof.
fortunately, he had friends like myself and some other people that he knew that contributed to a GoFundMe page. And also, fortunately, healthcare here isn't that expensive. So I'm pretty sure he reached his goal and he's getting better. So I feel good. I made the first big contribution to it.
That's so
So,
nice.
well, look, you got to take care of your friends. You got to take care of your friends. It,
100%.
I know not everybody does, but you've got to. But no, health insurance is terrible. And, hopefully, the new administration will get something done. Um, not to get political, because I'm not going to. So, what is? Yeah, God, we've had enough of that. So, what
Oh,
is your goal?
sharp pivot.
What's that?
You're all sharp pivot. Let me get away from that.
Yeah, really. What is your goal for the company, and how would you like to see it help adult entertainers?
I would love for my company to replace all of those crappy, shitty, negative manager notes that are in every strip club's back room. I would love if I could personally tear every one of those down and replace it with how to get health insurance and how to get mental help and how to take care of yourself. That's a huge
Mm-hmm.
goal of mine. It seems really silly, but it's just like I said, it's one of those things that I noticed it wasn't just, my state. It was everywhere that you just get berated all day long with all these negative notes. It's disgusting. So that's a huge
Mm-hmm.
goal of mine. And another would be to like this is such a dream. I don't even know if I could ever like make this happen. But if I could,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'd be superwoman. I would love to find a way to get a health insurance company to cover talent testing, like
Mm-hmm.
include it in their whatever and in some kind of a package or so. I would love if I could ever pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
I would be the happiest woman in the world because that
Mm-hmm.
would just you pay out of pocket for that. A lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
realize that you pay to what is it, $200 every 2 weeks, and
Mm.
now with COVID,
Wow.
you're going 24 hours, I think, to go get
Mm.
tested. I don't know how much they're charging for that, but that would be if I could make that
You should
happen.
talk to the Free Speech Coalition about that, I think.
I'm really ready to talk to anyone who wants to help this industry because
Mm-hmm.
I think we've been like stagnant doing the same thing for a
Mm-hmm.
very long time. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the newest thing out of this can't be OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Now, how would someone sign up and get a quote?
So the easiest thing to do would be to go to health.successful.com. And there is a number right at the top for you. There also is a form that you can fill out and you can get a call back from one of our agents. That would be the best way.
Okay, fantastic. Allyson, I'd really like to thank you for being our guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk, and I hope we'll get a chance to do this again really soon.
Would love to. Thank you for having me.
My broker tip today is part 2 of what to do to make your site more valuable for when you decide to sell it later. Keep your website design up to date. Do a redesign from time to time. People will tend to think your site is the same as ever and click out of it without even looking if something doesn't change. So keep it fresh and up to date. Times change, so should your website. Look at what your competitors are doing and see what it is you really like. Emulate success. If you know a site to be particularly successful, look at what it is they're doing and do some of the same things. Now, I'm not saying copy it. I'm just suggesting you improve your site by looking around a bit. You've got to keep up with the times or you're going to end up being left behind. Also, keep an eye on your competition and make sure you're offering everything on your site that they are or more. Don't just look at their design, but make sure your offers are good and you're competitive. The same goes for your content. Do you ever wonder why one site does well and others don't? Check out the competition's content. What are they doing that you're not doing? Be willing to make changes. People can't understand why they're losing sales to a competitor, yet the competitor is clearly doing everything better. Emulate success. Make sure everything on your website works well. Make sure all of your links work properly. Check them on a regular basis. If things don't work, you'll lose customers. People are not patient these days. People's attention spans are like that of a gnat. They'll click out immediately and go to the next result in Google if they don't find what they're looking for. If the site is hard to navigate or if things don't work, they're gone. Check all your internal scripts and plugins and make sure they're updated regularly as well. We'll talk about this subject more next time. Adult Site Broker Talk will take a 2-week hiatus for the holidays and be back on January 6th. Our guest will be Andra from Studio 20. And that's it for this week's Adult Site Broker Talk. I'd once again like to thank my guest, Allyson Wonderland. Talk to you again next week on Adult Site Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.